Lean in, lock in, listen. Your network determines your net worth. I know you've heard about it so much. I know you're saying, well, Dr. Eddie, this is a different location. Yeah, I'm traveling. I'm traveling around the nation. But I wanted to still keep in the mix going. And here's the thing, what I'm understanding, what I'm learning more than ever before is that your network is so necessary for your next level. Did you hear me? Your network is necessary for your next level. You don't even understand how my steps have been ordered as I've been traveling. Just the various people and places that I've come across who have helped me out along the way, who've given me the hookup, who've put me in particular places where it was not given any access to anybody else. But I was able to get that and have access granted in my life. And I believe it's one of those particular aspects that you have to move in that vein and understand that reality that there are people who are looking for you when you show up as you. There are a lot of people who are looking for you, but they just want you to show up as you. Do you have the courage to show up as you, your development, your ideas, your ideals, and the greatness of who it is that you are? When you're talking about networking and really acknowledging all of this, whatever you don't share about what you can provide to add value to other people, here's what you do. You now shortchange them. Number one, I need you to hear me. You have value. And because you have value, you have to add value. I was at a table the other day having some lunch with some movers and shakers and some board members of some pretty well-to-do opportunities in organizations. And so I was listening to a number of people sharing about what it is that they do and, actually leaning in, listening, learning. And after hearing what it is that they were mentioning, what it is that they do and how it is that they serve the community, here was my response. How can I add value to what you do? Did you hear me? My response was, how can I add value to what you do? How can I support your work? Right? Because I understand that it's not about me. It's about what it is that I can provide to help somebody else. Right? Versus, how can you help me out? How can you hook me up? No, 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 no. And here's what their response was. Wow, while you gave me your car, while I was talking to you, while I was actually sharing with you about what it is that I do, I was thinking about what it is that I would love for you to work with me on. I was thinking about where it is that I could plug you. Who could I introduce you to? You see what I'm saying? When you help people get what they want, you will get what you want. Let me say that twice because it's also nice. When you help people get what they want, you, my friend, will get what you want. And so you have value. That's the first thing we got to realize. You have value. God never places anything on this planet that is not gifted, including you. You are a gift. Somebody is waiting for you to become who you are so they can become who they're supposed to be. Here's the question. How much longer will you make them wait? Now is the time to go after it. Now is the time to make it happen. Now is the time to recognize that you have value. Now, here's what you got to do. You got to add value. What I mean by adding value, looking for opportunities to serve. looking for opportunities to give back, looking for opportunities to help somebody else out with what it is that they do, right? Adding value says this: service is the rent you pay for the space that you occupy. And because you occupy that particular space, your job, your responsibility is to now pay it forward. That's what it is. When I'm doing my speeches on graduation speeches, as I'm traveling, I'm paying it forward. When I'm now going to other churches and whether I'm preaching, whether I'm doing a seminar, whether I'm talking about mental health awareness, whatever the case may be, I am adding value and I am now paying it forward. I am now being that servant leader, which is what it is. That is the clarion call of what it is that you have been called to do. That is your mandate. That is your mission. That has to be the clarion call and cauldron of your messaging. It has to be. So once again, I said, you have value. You have to add value. Next, you have to be an individual who is interested in people. Come on. You got to get interested in people. It's a book by a gentleman, I believe his name is Dave Kirpin, called The Art of People. And here it is. He mentions this: when you get interested in people, people will get interested in you. Listen, we're talking about, I'm giving you some nuggets on networking here. Giving you some nuggets on networking. When you get interested in what people do and who people are, people will get interested in you. Right? The interest says, wow, this is what you do. The interest says, let me ask particular questions. The interest says, I don't want to just get in your pockets. I don't want to just get your money. Right? I want to foster connectivity. I want to develop who it is that you are. What are the type of questions that you ask people to where you really gauge a serious interest in it? To where you've got people saying, you know what, that was such a phenomenal way of communicating. What is your contact information? What is your number? What is your social media? How can I connect with you? How can I do this? How can I build? How can I learn a little bit more about what it is that you do? Why? Because when you're now interested in other people, when you've now placed the onus not just on me, my, and all of thine, but you've actually gotten interested in what it is that people do and how it is that they serve, people are going to now be interested in you. Oh, you've been asking me all these particular questions about my family. You've been asking me all these questions about my life and where I grew up and how many children I have or don't have, or whatever the case may be. You've been so interested in what is my background, how long I've been in this particular organization, how long I've been doing this, my back, all of these particular aspects. Now people are saying, wow, you've been asking me all these particular questions. Let me ask you. I'm interested in what it is that you do now. You see that? Networking moves you in that particular vein to where you are ingratiating yourself to everyone else. Ingratiating yourself. Really getting to know individuals. Understanding that you have value, you add value. You have value, you add value. Secondly, you're interested in other people. Thirdly, now, you get obsessed about people's problems. See, people are only obsessed about themselves. That's the problem. Scripture says this: in the last days, men will be lovers of themselves. They will be obsessed with themselves. Obsessed with themselves. They always got to take themselves a selfie. They always got to be all up in everybody else's space and face and all this other specific thing to get attention. But they have no intention of serving. They have no intention of obsessing over people's problems. And here's the thing: the reason why you would obsess over somebody's problem is so that you can now provide an answer. See, when you don't know your purpose, you cause problems. When you do know your purpose, you now solve problems. Obsessing over people's problems says this: I am a problem solver. And because now I am a problem solver, Here's what it is. I want to provide. I want to give a remedy. I want to help somebody to shift the equilibrium. I want to help somebody to navigate their process, become better than where it is that they've been, become better than who it is that they've been, go where they've never gone before, do what they've never done before. And here's the thing, you can always teach anybody whenever you're just one particular step ahead of somebody. You don't have to be a total expert in whatever the craft is. You just have to be at one particular level better than somebody else or have more knowledge than somebody else on a particular subject matter. If you have just one more step more than somebody else, you are qualified to teach, my friend. You are qualified to instruct. You are qualified to share your expertise and your level of knowledge because somebody doesn't even know how to get to point A. You've already been there. You're at point B now. Teach point A. Network to get other individuals involved in the process of what it is that you do. I'm telling you, you're going to shine as a result of what you do because you understand that your network determines your net worth too. I want you to get this book, Know Your Know. Know Your Know, How to Build Healthy Boundaries and Love Without Losing Yourself. Have book will travel. You know, listen, you didn't think I had my book? Wherever I go, my book goes. Go ahead and get this book. It's going to take you to so many different places and spaces that are going to really shift the paradigm of your life. It's going to really affect the equilibrium to where you develop who it is that you are. You can get the book on Amazon as an ebook, as a hard copy. You can also get a signed copy on my website, EddieConnor.com/know your know. Little bit of story time. Yeah, is that all right? I knew you'd say yes. Building healthy boundaries is a sign of caring for yourself and refusing to allow people to trespass on the property of your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Self-care empowers you to take back your power and set parameters for how to live your life. Boundaries about personal prioritization of your purpose. Far too often, we have placed our value in the hands of people. We thought they were going to heal and help us, but they hurt and harmed us. We thought they were going to plant seeds that would become trees, but they were uprooted. As a consequence, weeds of worry and insecurity grew in its place. Certain dispositions were implanted in our mind, soul, and spirit because we did not deny access to it. Yeah, networking is about access granted. And there are some people, here it is, that you have to deny access to, though. There's some people that you don't need to network with. There's some people that you don't even need to work with. There's some people that you understand that you have to place parameters and boundaries around so that you can surround yourself with love, joy, peace, and increase. Know your know. Got to know who to know, and you got to know who to know. Go get it. Say yes to yourself and your boundaries and your greatness. EddieConnor.com/know your know to get a signed copy. You can also get, yes, an ebook as well as a hard copy on Amazon. You can get that on Amazon. Become a member of my Eagles community. Yes, become a member of my Eagles community is where I empower you to soar into greater success and purpose, empowering you to really develop who it is that you are. You need the content. You need to develop your communication. You need to move into a greater place of collaboration. And you need community. You need the content. Yes, you develop your communication. Got to move into a greater place of collaboration. That's what networking is about. And then, of course, you also need community. Community. That is the greatest aspect that's going to cause you to build and level up. Go to theeaglesacademy.com even right now. Theeaglesacademy.com. Theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form. Going to be transformed. It's such a cool community, such a laid-back community, but it's an empowering community that you're going to be able to network with so many great gifted leaders locally, nationally, and globally. And you owe it to you to invest in yourself. You really do. And I know my Eagles community is going to empower you in so many great ways as you level up and as you soar higher. If this podcast was an empowering aspect to you at all, drop a Cash App. Information is in the description of this video. Cash App $Dr. Eddie Ministries. PayPal info@EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, Zelle. EddieConnorJr@gmail.com. EddieConnorJr. EddieConnorJr. That is how you can connect with me on social media. Yes. Put some respect on my name. Connect with me on social media as well. Family, it's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know, brother got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy. It has been beyond measure, but I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher.
I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right now.